Good evening, everybody. About ready to head to bed here, but I wanted to walk around the studio and see if I can answer some questions about some of the gear that I use, if anyone wants to hop on. Probably no one's going to get on, but hey, just for funsies, I'm going to switch this around here. I want to go over. So, I recently acquired this brand new cabinet in the head for $750. Actually, for $700 technically because I got a gift card. This is a Black Star JJN20 valve, or I could say tube head with a 212 cab. I'm messing around with it all week. It is just, I think, a really overlooked piece of equipment. I never even gave these two thoughts when they came out. I was like, oh, cool. Something geared toward blues. Probably going to be super expensive. And originally it was. I'm pretty sure this combo, when it first came out, was like, I think around $2,000, maybe a little less. But, didn't really do it for me. I didn't look at the specs, though, because it turns out, here, let's go over to the box. I'm going to grab the little information sticker. Maybe I'll stick it back on there for funsies. Hold on. Let's put this over here. So I'm just going to stick this. So this has two different speakers in the cabinet, and it has a removable back, which you can get the open back or closed back sound, which is really cool. So it's got one V-type and one G12T75. So that gives you kind of like a really warm lo-fi sound with this one, and like an even keel kind of sound with this one mixed together. They just have a great complement of each other, and I've had a lot of fun with recording them. I recorded with a condenser mic just to start for the room. I had it backed up, and I'm going to tomorrow experiment with the SM57 on the bottom and the condenser mic up top and just see what I can get out of it. Overall, it sounds awesome. I mean, especially for the money. If you can find one of these, damn. Let's go put this back on. Why not? Let's make it look brand new again. I pulled it off because of my OCD and having stickers and shit, but let's put it back on there. Look at that. Next, I don't think I've ever really talked about this amplifier. This is a cool piece. I just happened to find this used in the music store at Manchester Music Mill one day when I was poking around. I saw it out of the corner of my eye, and I instantly recognized it from 20-something years ago. So this is a THD univalve. If you're not familiar with them, in the early 2000s, these were one of the best Class A amps you could buy, one of the cleanest sounding amps, and it just got a lot of awesome, reviews back in the days of magazines and stuff. And they were very expensive, and I kind of like took them off my radar and didn't think much of it. So fast forward over 20 years later, I find this thing. So the really cool part about it is, let me see if I can get this apart. Hold on. It can use multiple different vacuum tubes. So you're not limited to just one type, and you can kind of experiment with sound. And it is a Class A amplifier, so it's incredibly clean. Let's see, I'll show you what I got going on here. So let me get this guitar out of the way so I don't bonk it. Hold on here. Bear with me. All right, let's get back to this. So the side screws come off real easy. It's just two screws here. Let's take it off. Oh, got one more to go. Bear with me. Okay, so this top comes off, and then it exposes this part. So if you look here, you can see, I'm gonna flip over. You can see all the different vacuum tubes you can use for the input, the drive, preamps, and then this is the power amp. You can see all the different choices you have. So it's a single output tube, so you don't have to bias anything, which is nice too. What I have in it right now is I have just 12, I'm just gonna get this off. Just regular 12X A7s, a matched pair. And then this is a older Soviet military grade 6L6. And they have a kind of a high power consumption, but I mean, I put these in my Mesa, and I can't get over the really cool high-end saturation you can get out of these. And the compression is really good, but it still leaves a good amount of dynamic. But I mean, these old THD amps, if you can find one of these, they're really neat. And they're all, I don't know if you can see this, autographed by the designer. And they're serial numbered in marker. So there's only so many of them. I think there's less than 1,000 of these in existence. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe wrong. Someone correct me in the comments if I am. But it has a lot of neat features. So it's like the old Marshalls. So you have the clean channel and the drive channel are separate. There's no switch. You just take the plug out, put it in. So it's real simple, very robust. It has a built-in additional compression circuit here you can disable or enable. It has a built-in attenuator, which is really cool. And you can even sag the voltage going to the power tube. So it's a really versatile amp. It's old, but I've had it apart just to do a little bit of maintenance on it. And I think this thing will outlive me and most people if you just keep fresh capacitors in it. But I'll do a demo on this thing maybe in a week or so, but let me put the cover back on here. I've had it now for probably a year. I think the only thing I've had to do to it maintenance-wise, I forget what I did, actually. I think I did a potentiometer when I first got it. One was scratchy. No, that's what I cleaned off the rheostat for the attenuator because it was really scratchy. But other than that, these are really cool amps. THD univalve. If you can find one of these, keep it. Don't let it go. The clean channel especially, I mean, I've recorded this multiple times and it just has, I don't know, it's just, there's no like floor noise. It's just super clean, very articulate, and I think a very overlooked used amplifier to find. If you can find a THD univalve, snag it up. Let's move on to the next weird setup I have here. So I have an old Fender GTX cab from the early 2000s, which was kind of like their, what do you want to call it? Entry into kind of metal zone, which they didn't really take off very well. However, it's a really, really good sounding cabinet. And I have this Joyo Zombie hooked up to it, and it just gives a frickin' nasty, older kind of Mesa compression sound to it. But I mean, that you can't get a better sound on a budget. I mean, you can usually pick these cabinets up for less than $150, and then these little Joyo heads you can get under $100 used. I think altogether, I got this cabinet for $80 on sale because they couldn't sell it at Music Mill because nobody knew what it was. Then I got the Joyo amp used for like $30. You can't beat that. So I'll move over onto my main amplifier. Let me just turn on some more light in here. So there we go, you can see what we're doing. So this is something that I had always wanted. This is a Series 1 Mesa Rectiverb. So it's the rectifier gain channel. So it's a 2-channel with 2 separate voicings. I also retubed this whole thing. So it has 12XA7 preamp tubes. It's got 5 of them, and I believe I did Electro Harmonics match set, but I also went with the same tubes I mentioned earlier, those 6L6 Soviet era tubes with the gold pins I'm using for the power amps in this thing, and this amp is something else. I ended up getting a THD hot plate to go with it as an attenuator, and this needed some work. I did a new potentiometer on the output, and then I think I cleaned this potentiometer. It's been a while now, but this paired up with this amplifier, the communism radio, I love it. Yeah, I guess, yeah. Hey, you know what though? The tubes from the Soviet era that I've tried, I haven't had any issues with them, like whatsoever. Whereas I've had the original Mesa tubes, I've had those fail more than anything else. So I don't know what that says, but I guess they don't build them like they used to. I tried to find some old American GE and Sylvania tubes, but the price that they're asking for them was like, I wasn't sure if I want to take a risk. None of them have warranties or anything. So that's pretty much what I have going on for amplifiers these days. But I will say, if you can find one of these guys too on sale before they all disappear, I mean, what a value. I mean, I can't think of anything else that comes remotely close to this setup for the money. But yeah, I've been also working on a new single to release before Christmas using a 7-string. I've never played 7-string before in my life, never really been into it, and I happened to get one at a good deal, so I've been kind of getting used to it and trying to write some music with it. Not sure if I'm going to end up keeping it. I'm definitely a 6-string guy in heart, but it has definitely been an interesting exercise. My hands aren't very big either, so with the wider neck, it's just kind of weird. But anyway, that's that. I'll play a little of something I'm working on, and you let me know what you think. What part should I enter into? Fuck it. Let's go here. And I'll give you a little sneak peek of the middle piece. Here we go. That's enough for now. Well, if anyone has any questions at all about any of the weird gear I have, I guess I didn't really touch much on this cabinet. It's just a seismic generic cabinet loaded with a Celestion Vintage 30, like an older one, maybe like early 2000s. And yes, I did half cut out the back of it so it would be an open back, because there you go. I did it cleanly. It can be put back nicely, but open back speakers to me just have a little more kick to them. That's why I liked this Black Star one. So you can see I don't know if you can see back there. Probably not. Hold on. There's the little removable panel. And then there's a picture that fell off the wall behind it. Hold on. There's the opening. So it's kind of versatile. Cool shit. Yeah, that's pretty much it for tonight, guys. I just wanted to... I haven't done a live on YouTube in I don't know how long. But that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good night. Thanks for stopping by, listening to me blab for a while. Be well. Take care.